Azure Policy is a service in Azure that you use to create, assign, and manage policies. These policies enforce different rules and effects over your resources, so those resources stay compliant with your corporate standards and service level agreements. Azure Policy does this by using policies and initiatives. The journey of creating and implementing a policy in Azure Policy begins with creating a policy definition. Every policy definition has conditions under which it is enforced, and it has an accompanying effect that takes place if the conditions are met. The process of applying a policy to your resources consists of the following steps. Firstly, create a policy definition. Secondly, assign a definition to a scope of resources. Thirdly, view the policy evaluation results. Examples of policy definitions would include allowed storage account SKUs. So this policy definition has a set of conditions or rules that determine whether a storage account that is being deployed is within a set of SKU sizes. Its effect is to deny all storage accounts that do not adhere to the set of defined SKU sizes. Allowed resource types. This policy definition has a set of conditions or rules to specify the resource types that your organization can deploy. Its effect is to deny all resources that are not part of this defined list. Allowed locations. This policy enables you to restrict the locations that your organizations can specify when deploying resources. Its effect is used to enforce your geographic compliance requirements. Allowed virtual machine SKUs. This policy enables you to specify a set of VM SKUs that your organization can deploy. Initiatives work alongside policies in Azure Policy. An initiative definition is a set of policy definitions that help track your compliance state for a larger goal. Even if you have a single policy, we recommend using initiatives if you anticipate increasing the number of policies over time. Like a policy assignment, an initiative assignment is an initiative definition assigned to a specific scope. Initiative assignments reduce the need to make several initiative definitions for each scope. This scope could also range from a management group to a resource group. Initiatives can be assigned just as policies can. Role-based access control provides fine-grained access management for Azure resources, enabling you to grant users only the rights they need to perform their jobs. RBAC is provided at no additional cost to all Azure subscribers. Examples of when you might use RBAC include when you want to allow a user to manage VMs in a subscription and another user to manage virtual networks. Allow a database administrator group to manage SQL databases in a subscription. Allow a user to manage all resources in a resource group such as VMs, websites, and subnets. Allow an application to access all resources in a resource group. To view access permissions, access the access control, the IAM blade, in the Azure portal. On this blade, you can see who has access to an area and their role. Using the same blade, you can grant or remove access. Locks help you prevent accidental deletion or modification of your Azure resources. You can manage these locks from within the Azure portal. To view, add, or delete locks, go to the Settings section of any resource's Settings blade. You may need to lock a subscription, resource group, or resource to prevent other users in your organization from accidentally deleting or modifying critical resources. You can set the lock level to Cannot Delete or Read Only. Cannot Delete means authorized users can still read and modify a resource, but they can't delete the resource. Read Only means authorized users can read a resource, but they can't delete or update the resource. In the Azure portal, the locks are called Delete and Read Only respectively. As discussed earlier in the course, Azure Advisor is a free service built into Azure that provides recommendations on high availability, security, performance, and cost. Advisor analyzes your deployed services and looks for ways to improve your environment across these 4 areas. Azure Advisor provides security recommendations by integrating with Azure Security Center. You can view the Security Center recommendations on the Security tab of the Advisor dashboard. You can then click deeper into the Security Center recommendations. Azure Blueprint is a declarative way to orchestrate deployment of various resource templates and other artifacts. With Azure Blueprint, the relationship between the blueprint definition, what should be deployed, and the blueprint assignment, what was deployed, is preserved. This connection supports improved deployment tracking and auditing. Usage scenario. Adhering to security or compliance requirements, whether government or industry, can be difficult and time-consuming. To help you with auditing, traceability, and compliance with your deployments, use Azure Blueprint artifacts and tools. Time-consuming paperwork is no longer needed, and your path to certification is expedited. Note, at the time of writing this course, Azure Blueprint is in preview and has not been released generally.